Hi, this is John with The Evolving World. Today I'm doing a video on a 2018 Tesla Model 3. This is the Performance Edition. This car is a fully loaded car. It has every option that's available for the Model 3. And the color you see is the tri-coat red and the white leather interior. This video will be filmed in basically 3 segments. The first segment is me just walking around the vehicle, showing you what it looks like from the outside, giving some kind of zooming in some of the details, giving my impressions of what I feel about the design of the car. And then the next section will be the interior, and that's where I'll step into the car, get in the back seat, get in the front seat, push all the buttons, kind of look around, honk the horn, just kind of show you what the operation of the vehicle is like from the inside. And then the third segment will be the driving impressions, and that's when I'll take it on the road and drive around some curbs, take it on the highway. So the first thing you might notice is that the car is absolutely beautiful. They did a really nice job with the exterior styling. It's very, very clean, very, very stylish, and I think it will look just as good 10 years from now as it does today, which is a hard thing for automakers to do these days. I mean, a lot of cars are overstyled. This car is not overstyled. It's very clean, very nice. I'm very impressed with it. With that said, not everything is perfect. There are some things that could be improved upon. Actually, there's only about 3 things on the entire car that I think could need improving. Actually, 2 of them are on the exterior. The lack of color options on this car baffles me. A car of this price point having only 5 colors available seems underwhelming to me. And then, of course, there's the door handles. Are very stylish. I give them A+ for style. But as far as functionality, they are just absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason to make it that confusing or that hard for somebody to get into the car. With 22,000 units being produced per month now, as of September 2018, that's 264,000 units a year. You're going to see a lot of these cars on the road. A lot of people are going to be having contact with this car. So it should be interesting to see if these issues do become problems. One of the many things that make Tesla a standout company from all the competition is the charging infrastructure. With over 1,000 charging locations around the world, averaging 7 chargers per location, in some cases 20 plus at one location, there's never really any issue as far as charging. There's always plenty of chargers available, and it's like 3 times faster than any of the other types of chargers that are out there. Factor in that these charging locations average about 92 miles apart from one another, and makes a long-distance road trip just basically super simple. Another distinctive Tesla trademark is the ability for the company to make cars that are purpose-built electric from the start. And so, for example, when you open the hood of the vehicle, even though this vehicle does have a front motor and it does have a rear motor, when you open the frunk or the trunk, you never actually see the motor. Because why do you need to see something that you never have to maintenance? So there's absolutely no reason for anybody to look at it. The total storage capacity is 15 cubic feet. The seats do fold 60-40. And thoughtful touches like having articulated hinges for the trunk allow no kind of protrusions when you close the trunk, so you can maximize your trunk capacity.
This is actually pretty nice. It's better than I expected. I don't know if they just made these seats better or something, or what, but this is actually very, very nice. I love this interior. This is definitely the interior color they get. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's very comfortable. Yeah, so this is the fully loaded performance model. It's got pretty much all the options, I believe. It's very, very nice. I love this color combo. It's absolutely striking. This is definitely the way I would get it. White interior. I don't know if I need the performance, but definitely the white interior, and definitely the dual motor is definitely nice. Kind of makes me wonder what the base model will be like, but in comparison. But if this is any indication, I'd say it's very, very nice. Leather on the dash here too, looks like. Of course, this is a high-end model though, so this is going to have stuff that the base model doesn't have. Very simple controls, actually very intuitive. Once you get out on the road, it's actually very easy to figure out. Basically, this is where all the controls are. It's actually very intuitive, more intuitive than I thought it would be. Haven't sat this car a couple times before, but not actually driven it before today. I thought it would not be, but actually when you actually get out and drive the car, it's actually not really a problem at all. So it's kind of interesting how this is how you adjust the mirrors on the car. So you use your little wheels right here. It's pretty interesting. And the steering wheel, same thing. Use the up and down arrows. So you try to just keep all the controls minimal. Like everything's right here, or here, or here, or here. Basically everything's right there. And the only thing that's really off to the side is the speedometer, but even that's not that big of a deal when you're driving. The car just really provokes you to, it feels like a sports car, the way it handles and everything. It just makes you feel like you don't even want to look at the speedometer. You just want to go. But I'll get into more about that when I do the driving section. Here we have automatic charging here. Don't have the cords connected, but there is actually, actually I don't know if this is. I think there's a cord. There's cords. So it's not wireless, it's actually cords. But you put your phone right there. I have enough room for 2 phones. Just kind of goes right in there. And then you can plug in and charge if you have the cord adapter, which I don't, but it's a nice system, thoughtfully planned out. What's with this? There we go. It's with. Why is this not closing? Okay, there it goes. That's a funny thing. Okay, so maybe you hold it down. Ah, there we go. It's magnetic or something. I was thinking it was like a click kind of thing, because so many things have like a, you have to slam it, right, to close it. But actually, if you just gently, there. Funny. It's actually better though. I even said, oh, it gave me instructions, say close gently. That's hilarious. It actually senses that you're freaking out and spazzing out. Yeah, look at that, see? Close lid gently. Thank you for the spastic people who can't figure that out. That's awesome. That's actually really nice. Yeah, like I said before, these seats are just beautiful. Very comfortable seats. Actually, the rear seats are comfortable too. I read some reviews that said that the rear seats are not comfortable. I'm not sure what, I don't see what they were talking about. I mean, leg room's maybe a little bit less, but other than that, it's nothing. Oh, how do we get to the glove box? Logs, display, driving. strange. Oh, here we go. Glove box. Okay. So you have to, there's a couple things. You definitely have to get familiar with that whole here's our car here. Yeah, for the bargain price of only that amount. It's actually quite a striking car, actually. The only thing that kind of, you know, if you can buy a base car for like half the price, it kind of makes you question that a little bit. It's kind of like buying an M3 versus a, you know, just a base model 3 Series, you know. It's kind of like fully loaded or, you know, the base car. But anyway, which is the better buy? Couple of manuals. Oh, this is nice. This is a nice improvement. Like my Model S, for example, doesn't have the illumination. It's kind of a thing that they kind of passed up on, but they didn't pass up on this one. It's nice. Oh, here's the emergency blinkers. I was looking for those earlier. There's a couple things that are a little bit different, but you get used to it once you know where it is. It's like it's not a really big deal. Very nice. Let's go for a drive. First thing I noticed when I started driving this car, compared to my Fiat and compared to my Model S, is that this car just feels more like a sports car. I mean, you have excellent visibility, the dash is really low, it feels like you just have excellent visibility of the road. Unlike those two cars, this one feels much more like hunkered down, like you're sitting in a Ferrari or something. Like it just, even though you're not sitting that low, it just has that sports car kind of feel to it. And this wheel is a little bit smaller diameter, and it's yet nice and fat. I mean, it's got like this, it's really like, you know, very, very thickly padded. I mean, very thick. Just feels great. And it has more of a satin finish, more of a flat finish to it. Not a shiny finish, not a calfskin, but more of a satin, more for grip. You know, it's not suede or anything, but it's definitely got a little bit more. It just feels like it's designed for like more grip and everything. And then as soon as I drove it, it's just like, I mean, just driving out of the parking lot, it was just like, man, this thing is just, like I said, it's just hunkered down. The steering just feels really tight. And of course, this is the dual motor, so it's got 450 horsepower, 471 pounds of torque. So at any given moment, if you want to go 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, I mean, this thing, which we're not going to be doing that here, but I might try that a little later, demonstrate for you. But compared to the regular model, which is only 258, you know, this is quite a bit more. And these, just driving on the regular streets, it just feels light on its feet. Now, see here, we're on a twisty road here, so this is, man, this thing is just, this is nice. I mean, my Model S is fast, but it's heavy, it's big, and it feels like it's heavy. And I mean, it feels good, but it feels good for its size. But this is just a whole nother level from a driving standpoint. This just feels light and nimble. I mean, it makes my Fiat feel kind of heavy, to be honest. It's only 3,500 pounds. Oh, actually, what are we at here? Okay, this is the dual motor. So this is actually 4,000 pounds too. So it's only about 320 pounds. This is about 4,072 pounds, according to my notes here. And yet, my Model S, for example, is about 4,400 pounds, and that's a two-wheel drive model. So, it doesn't feel like it, though, at all. I've been curious to test drive the base model, though. Since now that I've test driven the performance model here, be interested to see how the base model compares, because, you know, for like half the price, if it's anything near half as good, it would be going to be a spectacular value. But even this, I mean, this is very nice. I mean, if you're paying money for something, but you're getting something, I mean, this is the kind of car you buy and keep for 20 years. Definitely. And I came in a little skeptical, to be honest. I mean, in all fairness, having a Model S and everything, I figured it's not going to be nearly as good. And you know, it's a different kind of flavor. You know, it's a different kind of car. It's like a BMW 5 Series versus a 3 Series. It's not the same thing. It's not supposed to be. But yeah, this is just definitely for the sporty people who like sporty driving, sports cars. I mean, this is definitely very nice. And the range is still 310 EPA, and then the battery pack is 75 kilowatts, the same as the I think the other long range Model 3s. Okay, we're behind somebody really slow here. This is getting aggravating. I could be sliding, I could be whipping through these corners like nothing. This is kind of aggravating. Okay, here we go. Maybe we'll get a little bit of opening up here. This thing is just, I mean, it's got a multi-link suspension all the way around, like the way it's supposed to be. No excuses. And the ride, I've read reviews that say the ride's bad. I'm not seeing that at all. I don't know what those people were saying. I don't think the rear seat comfort was bad. There's nothing wrong with that. Just flying around these corners. Very lovely. Stays nice and flat. Just excellent suspension dynamics. It's more like a European sports car, except you've got the added bonus of it being pure electric and everything. So you have this instant torque and instant power. And you regen, so you'll probably never have to replace the brake pads on this car. Just like all other EVs that regen brake, you know, you never have to worry about things like that. You lift off the throttle and it's like it will regen all its own. One pedal driving most of the time. And this car, being a performance model, has the track performance. There's a track mode, I believe it is, which I'm not going to get a chance, unfortunately, to do that. Hopefully sometime in the future when I have more time to drive it, maybe we'll try to get into that as well. But yeah, the only thing I would really say is a negative, I mean, it's not even a big thing. You know, the speedometer off to the side is really not that bad. You kind of get used to it. It's really not a big deal. God, this guy's whipping. He's rolling. Look at this guy. Damn, he must be a triathlete or something. What the hell? He's going like 32. That's crazy. Man, that guy's... He must be an Olympic athlete or something. He's whipping around like at 32 miles an hour. Damn. Wish I could bike ride that fast. Anyway. Speedometer 35. You can see it. It's kind of right there. It's kind of off to the side a little bit. It would be nice. I keep finding myself looking right here, but because that's what I'm used to. All my other cars do that, but it's like you could get used to it pretty easy, I would think. It's not really a big deal. But it would be super cool, being a tech company that Tesla is and everything, to have a little heads-up display or something right here on the dash, or right here on the glass. That would be super cool if they did that. Then it would solve that even minor issue, if that's even an issue. And as far as negatives, I don't even find anything to be really distracting. I mean, adjusting the mirrors is not quite as traditional as I showed you in the other area there. You have to go through the screens and kind of do all that stuff here. But you don't have to do that very often. So it's not like it's really a big deal. And other things, I'm just going to focus on things that other people have pointed out as being negative. Okay, so other people have said the ride's negative. I don't see nothing wrong with the ride whatsoever. Ride's fine. mean, it's definitely, you feel the road a bit more. There's no doubt about that. But it's like, it's not uncomfortable at all. I mean, this is very much 3 Series. I mean, my Infiniti G20 that I had for many years, I still have it actually, has excellent suspension dynamics. It rides just like that. It's just firm enough, stays nice and flat, and yet the ride is comfortable enough that it's not like, you know, jarring or anything. It's not some ridiculous luxury car ride, but it doesn't want to be, doesn't need to be. It's just, it's firm, it's comfortable, it keeps the car flat. It's more sporty than it is, you know, luxury, but it's like, that's what you want it to be. And these seats are amazingly comfortable, very nice. Definitely nicer than my Model S for sure. Then other things that people complained about, rear seat, like I said, rear seat's fine. I don't see any problem with that. No problem whatsoever. Key access. Yeah, so I haven't had any problems. I mean, you just keep your little card here and swipe it against the door, and then you just put it down here. Keep it in that vicinity down here, and it tells you, gives you a little message when you're not doing that. You know, when you step in the car, it tells you, points to, you know, put the key. It shows you where to put it even, you know, swipe it, and then it's fine. So I keep it down here in the cup holder area, but I mean, you know, I don't think you need to at this point. Probably put it over here somewhere. Doesn't really matter. The car's not going to come to a stop or anything. Now I think this car has like a lot of the autonomous controls too, so which I'm not really going to be able to test, unfortunately, during this review. But that's a whole nother. That could be a whole nother segment just talking about that alone. That's a whole nother thing. I'm not even going to get into that. The only thing I've noticed, it has a little bit more road noise, a little more wind noise on the highway. Definitely a lot more than my Model S. That's about the only thing that I noticed that's just maybe could be improved upon a little bit. But it's not even bad. I mean, it's just not great. It's just it's only good. It's still pretty quiet though. I mean, it's not like I have to yell or anything. It's not super loud or anything. Of course, this is the performance model, which has the bigger wheels and tires too. So if you get a base car, it'll probably be a little bit quieter just by having skinnier tires. Not so easy to get up to speed in this thing. It's like I'm barely feathering the throttle. I'm barely feathering it. It's like I haven't even like really mashed it or anything yet either. Okay, on this road right here, that got a little weird. That got a little wobbly back there on that section of highway right there. It was kind of wobbling around, so maybe that's what people were talking about. The ride's not exactly. Yeah, and that felt a little funky. So maybe the ride isn't tip-top either, but most of the time it is. It seems to be pretty nicely done. God, it's so easy to go fast in this car. It's like ridiculous. You can hear the road noise too, see? Hear that truck? Of course, that's how it is with a lot of electric vehicles. You hear everything else but the engine, since there is no engine. Alright, that's going to do it for this review of a 2018 Tesla Model 3 Performance, fully loaded. Hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please like and subscribe. Many more videos to come.